안녕하세요. We're back. And it's NCT Dream this time with hot sauce. Hello Future was a very cool track, man. It's one of my favorites now. I dig everything about it. I dig the song. I love the choreo on it. I've been watching that dance practice video of that one. Like, everything about it is just so cool, man. It's very, very fun. So I wanted to definitely check out another NCT Dream track. This song, Hot Sauce, I believe this was the subunit's first album, like the full-length album. And I think that later on it was re-released under the title of Hello Future, which is where the track Hello Future was added onto it and sort of introduced. So let's check out the first single from the original album release, right? Hot Sauce.
보여줄게 시간을 충분해 지금 우리 눈치도 보지마 그저 taste it 비법은 색다른 spicy 살짝만 스쳐도 정신없지 적당히 발린 맛은 이내 질리기 쉬워 뜨거운 너의 feeling 지금 느꼈지 넌 너와 내 사이 선명히 보인 커져만 가는 열기 난 호감을 깨워 네 맘을 깨워 터질 것만 같은 맛 없을 테니까 넌 자극적인 내 감각 What you like, what you 가능하게 네 감당 No 버티턱이 없잖아 나 긴장을 더 풀고서 나 분앞에 뛰 now That's right 주체 못해 자꾸 빠져드는 말 Cause you can't stop 난 끝까지 깨져 찾게 될 걸 everyday And every night 중독돼 이미 넌네 맘을 더 섞어 넌 이제 남김없이 계속 원하게 돼 어지른 머리 네 가슴발이 이끌려 내게 이미 자극적인 매 순간들이 강렬해 워비거니 Golden my dish I'm the one What you want, what you want, what you want got it, dish I'm the one What you want, what you want, what you want got it Hot sauce, keep it deep there 날 따라 넌 twist it Hot sauce 떠오를 때 입맛대로 골라 my dish 너를 삼켜버린 feeling 사로잡은 이런 그림 수가 없잖아 좀 더 깊이 빠져들 때 원해 받아 baby 얼마든지 더 바래 baby 너의 혀끝 위로 아른거리 완벽해진 맛을 즐겨 You want it babe Hey you want 나만의 I'm the one. What you want, what you want, what you want, I'm the one. What you want, what you want, what you want, Hot sauce, keep it deep there. 날 따라 넌 twist it. Hot sauce 떠오를 때 입맛대로 골라 my dish.
Oh man, NCT Dream, they're cool, man. They're cool. They do like really cool stuff. It's interesting because I have listened to Hello Future like quite a lot. I've watched the video a few times, but I've watched the choreo more, like the practice video. But like hear it like their vocals are actually very distinct. Like in this one, I'm like, oh, okay, I remember these guys, right? Like the beginning part, and then when the two guys that rap come out, I said, oh, okay, yeah, I remember these guys. I remember their part in Hello Future, and then the sort of lead singers, right? The guys that they have that higher end register, right? When they come out and they start singing the melody parts, I'm like, oh yes, okay, I remember it. Like they actually are quite distinct vocally, you know. Like it's very easy to remember. Like, oh, okay, there, that part and that part and that part. Oh, okay. This was fun. This was fun, man. Like they do cool stuff. They do a lot of cool, fun stuff. Very very cool sound again. You know, definitely some hip hop, and almost some like Afro beats, even some sort of Latin sounds in there. Like they're very nice instrumental sounds actually, guitar sounds, a little bit of pitched percussion, obviously very danceable rhythms, right? And then the the very cool like descending lines that pretty much define the chorus part, right? The na 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 na, and then it went into more of a synth sound that was that high pitched descending thing. It followed the same sort of scale pattern there, and it was fun, dude. It's fun. It's very fun. Even some electronic, you know, almost like reminds me of EDM, right? It's sort of stripped down. It's like it's a little bit minimalist, you know. There are many different sounds, but you only have like so many things going on at a given time, right? But they do incorporate like several different sounds in this, and it's very fun. Extremely colorful visuals, getting almost psychedelic at times, you know. I don't know if that was a part of it, like the sort of what do you call it, a sort of underlying like subversive theme, but it's kind of there, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of there, but it's very fun. It's very fun. Some very very good bass sounds again. Also, like in Hello Future, there would like the bass sound was like a very strong and very very important sound, like in the mix, and it's the same thing here. The bass is quite impactful within the mix of this song. We're definitely in for with some interesting sort of subdivision beats and rhythms in play, especially in your percussive parts. It's interesting right from the start, though. Yeah, very actually very like a very high-end sort of chorus chant there, right at the beginning. Like everybody's kind of up here, you know, like they could be, a lot of them guys sit down here, you know, but they were like that the chant that was going on, they were all sort of higher in their registers over that sort of descending vocal hook that was going on there, and then percussion underneath. So again, minimalist, but each one of those parts is kind of moving in a different direction, you know. They're kind of doing they're moving very independently, and it's fun. It's very very fun. It's interesting right from the start, you know what I mean? 나는 너만의 chef 이건 너를 위한 play. Yeah, 내가 맛보여줄게. It's a great guitar sound that's in there. Sort of, it's a rhythm part, right? So there's chunking out the chords, right? But going from, and that descending line that starts off with that vocal sort of loop in the beginning, and then you hear it again also in the bass once the rap part of the first verse actually starts, right? That's a sort of theme that stays throughout the entire track here. But when we transition and this guitar sound comes in, it very much changes the color of it from where it starts. It's a very deliberate and very smart sort of change to create a contrast there, still within the first verse though. Great. The instrumental sounds was sort of almost going like pre-chorus here, and the instrumental sounds are really, really nice. It got so much softer, it got so much lighter. That descending bass sound is been removed by this point, and the percussion is consistent. That's the one thing that is still going on here, but we've had this rhythmic guitar sound that comes in, and now there's something that sounds very much like guitar. It could be something else, but it's definitely pitched, and it's playing something that's a lot more melodic, but it's such a clean, warm sound. But it's much lighter in contrast to the sort of dark, descending feeling that the song starts off with. It's still just the first verse, and there's been so much. So we haven't reached the chorus once yet, but we've already had like a very good contrast just between some of these different parts. Yeah, so there's percussion that's going on. There's an 808 bass sound also. And then you have that descending vocal loop that's going on with that high-pitched synth that's following it. It's the same sort of scale that's descending right there. And then the vocal part becomes this chorus chant that is the actual chorus part of the song. Still quite minimalist. And again, we've gone back through that contrast in the transition, right, to a more dark sound. Although the high pitched synth sound, it's like the, aside from the chorus chant, it's the brightest part. So it does have that descending dark feel, but there's something that moving over the top of it. You know what I mean? It's strangely enough, like it is sort of spicy. You know what I mean? Like it's because Koreans love hot food. They love spicy food. You know what I mean? So I imagine the flavor is something that everybody sort of has a common understanding of it, and so it's cool and it's strange, but this chorus part, especially in the song, it does distill this kind of like spicy quality, right? Like there's a spice to it that's going on. It's very fun, man. They do like really interesting and fun stuff. Melodies. It's actually, they have very nice, how those higher end vocals there. I'm guessing, alto probably registers maybe a little bit higher. But they sound really good, man. Like they have good voices, you know what I mean? It's just like in Hello Future, the contrast between the different vocal registers of all of these group members is it's like a whole nother mix in and of itself. You have the overall mix of the song that includes all your instrumental sounds and all of that, but just take the voices alone, right? And there's like a whole nother separate mix. Like if you took all the vocal stems out of this, or probably any song, I would guess, and you have none of the instrumentals, like you're just listening to the vocals, it's going to be super interesting, all the different tones that you hear and the different like just the spread of all the range that is covered, and very different colors that you get, some lows, some mids, some highs. They're all very, very good. They're all strong. They're all clean. It's a very fun entire, like they're a subunit of a group, and their vocal parts together, they're just a sub mix of like the song, and it's very cool, man. It's very cool stuff.
What you want, I got it. I'm the one. What you want, I got it. Hot sauce, keep it deep there. 날 따라 twist it. Hot sauce down right there. 입맛대로 골라 my dish. 너를 삼켜버린 feeling. 사로잡은 이런 그림.
So this bridge-like part, it's feels much cooler, right? If I could say the describe the chorus part as having a sort of spicy quality to it. This is a little bit of a more cool, kind of feel to it, almost like a little bit of relief, right? And I'm thinking about when you do eat like spicy food, there's different kinds of spice, right? Like sometimes there's something that's spicy and it's more like inside, right? Like back here, maybe, you feel like on your tongue, oh man, that burned. And then there's other spice that will get you like even all your lips and like all your olfactory, right, around your nose and all that. Like there's like it can affect you in different ways, And then there's even like, sometimes you eat something spicy and there's that initial onset or like everything sort of like lights up. And then at a certain point, you do hit almost. It's like it's still hot, but you feel like a little bit of relief. Oh, okay, man. Like this is, I can handle this. I can take another bite of this. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. It's a very interesting concept to try and relate like musically. But it's well done, especially for sort of a minimalist type of approach to the song structure too. Dance break. Lots of funky electronic sounds going on here, man. The synth sounds all over the place, in the bass, in the mids, left and right. Just all, little fills, essentially like rhythmically, because it's these small little parts that pop up, of a very brief sort of burst of sounds over here, and then the bass does something a little bit funky, for about a measure, maybe half a measure even. So we're just getting a lot of synth fills here, but it's just adding all this different color and stuff in there, and so it's a very interesting change up. it does make sense coming off of the bridge section that, like, it's kind of provided that almost cool texture in contrast to the sort of spicy, dark feel of the rest of the song, right? Oh man, they're they're cool, man. They're cool. They really do some very fun stuff for sure. Interesting song, man. It does do a pretty good job of like working with the concept of some sort of spice, hot sauce. It is rich and it's minimalist, and I guess it does work right with hot sauce with spice, because it's not like there's more to it. I mean, you eat something hot or spicy and it's going to be hot and it's going to be spicy, and so you know what I mean, it's like there's not a whole lot to it, right? Like it's not that complicated. Like, is it spicy? Yeah, it's spicy. Okay. But a very consistent percussion all throughout the entire track there. I think the most consistent part of the mix is going to be the percussion part. But very cool bass parts in there. Again, it seems to be very sort of a very core aspect of at least the couple of songs that I've heard so far between Hello Future and Hot Sauce. Now, even with Hello Future, like that's not minimalist, you know what I mean? Like that's a very rich, very busy, very bright and full type of arrangement and mix, but it still has like a very strong bass and percussion element to it, right? We get that cool descending theme here, right? It's that descending scale that's going on that you hear in a vocal loop, and then also doubled in the synth loop that's going on too. A theme that keeps coming back throughout the song. It's introduced right at the beginning, and you hear it again in the verse. Very nice contrasting parts by changing up the mix, the elements of the mix, the things that are going on, from these loops to these guitar rhythm parts, and even more melodic parts that are going on. Then sort of a nice cool bridge section, you know what I mean, after this sort of dark and descending sort of spicy chorus, right? A nice lighter, almost a bit of relief right in the bridge section, followed by an explosion of all kinds of electronic and synth sounds, these fills going off left and right and center in the bass. These sort of sweeping synth bass sounds that are going on over a pocketed 808 and percussion, and of course the vocal work too. It's like I said, this group actually has really enjoyable vocal work that's going on here. Like I said, it's like a whole another mix within the overall mix of the song, with the different ranges that are covered in it, and these different sounds, and the low end versus the high end, and how clean everything is on the delivery. And it's I think it has to always make for a very interesting and very fun type of track. Yeah, man, I enjoy NCT Dream. The NCT stuff that I've heard so far, all of it's like it's very good, man. Like these guys they're a solid group, man. I don't think it's another. I'm never disappointed, and I'm pretty sure that I could probably enjoy everything that NCT does, whatever subunit, the whole group or whatever subunit happens to be. I don't think they miss, So it was fun. It was a very fun song. It's a very cool video. Very cool sounds going on. Really interesting take on the concept, man. Very smartly done. To take a minimalist approach, and keep it rich and keep it interesting and have lots of moving parts in here and lots of changes in the overall color and sort of feel of between the sections, while maintaining such a solid continuity of the song structure and the concept as well. So very well done by NCT Dream. Hot Sauce. It was another fun one for sure.